All right, hello everybody. I'm Brian, and this is AAMI News and Conversation. We're here at day 2, the second full day of AAMI Exchange in New Orleans, and 2025. And I'm here today with a face you probably recognize. He's the past chair of the AAMI Board, and Steve Yelton. You're here today to talk to me about JSMI. A partner of AAMI's, a friend of AAMI's, we've been together for a long time, but I think a lot of the attendees here might not know about that partnership. But I really want to talk to you today about their 100th Congress, which is such a significant milestone, and what this partnership, this friendship means to AAMI and JSMI.
Right. Thanks, Brian. It was amazing to me to think about an organization similar to AAMI, the Japanese Society of Medical Instrumentation, being around for 100 years.
100 years.
And I think of AAMI as being around a long time, but JSMI, 100 years, they just had their 100th Congress. And I had the pleasure and honor to represent AAMI in Japan at the Congress. Really what I was doing was just fostering the relationship that has been going on for years between JSMI and AAMI. To give you a little history, starting back in the 60s, AAMI was created, but in 1974, when Mike Miller was the CEO of AAMI, he got together with Dr. Suzuki from JSMI, and in 1974 developed this relationship. And JSMI was AAMI's first international partnership. And since then, we've been working together, and they come to our conferences. We try to go to theirs. Over the years, we've participated in both ways.
Yeah.
And it's been a great partnership.
I have to say, the first time I was exposed to JSMI, I was at the AAMI party, and I'm meeting these very polite gentlemen who are demanding that I drink some sake.
Exactly. Exactly.
Gives a nice impression of what they're like. But such good people.
Right. Yeah, I was warned about that. Be careful with the sake. No, they're great. They're just so warm to be around. They're so welcoming. They make you feel great, and they were just amazing. And I was able to speak at their conference. When they found out that I was going to be there, they not only allowed me to do the presentation that I did, similar to what we're doing here, where we have a presentation about the history, the relationship between AAMI and JSMI. They also let me address the opening session that they have where their president talks to them. I was able to do something that was really cool. I visited every booth in their exhibit hall, and we were able to award an AAMI award for what I thought was the best booth.
Oh, no kidding.
And with that, there was a big plaque that they hung in their booth. And I didn't actually pick the one winner. I gave them 3 choices, and their board picked it. But that was very nice. And then you got to do a presentation, got to address their board, and they just are so proud to be partners with AAMI.
No, absolutely. I'd like to learn a little bit more about JSMI. What is their mission? What do they accomplish?
Their mission is almost identical to AAMI's, which is nice. Basically, to paraphrase, at the end of the day, we would like to reduce pain and suffering by the use of technology.
Sure.
And that's similar to theirs. And we're all trying to advance technology to improve healthcare and to improve healthcare outcomes. And, we think of AAMI as being JSMI's younger brother. We're maybe a little larger, but younger. And honestly, very similar missions, which makes it so easy for us to partner. And that makes it easy for us to participate in their sessions, them to participate in ours. It's just been a perfect partnership because of this what I call a shared mission.
Sure. The standards development side of things in Japan, is it correlative to what's going on in the U.S.? Is it similar?
Similar, and they'll participate because, we do develop some international standards.
Okay.
They have been working with standards for a long time. And, they really, in fact, during the time that I was working around in their exhibit hall, they talked to me about standards and thanked us for our work in standards
Oh, great.
and actually said that they felt like we were a little more advanced than them in certain areas and encouraged us to keep up the good work, that it helped them. And others said, no, they're very advanced also. But it was very similar in situation, and they do look to us for standards and will help develop too.
Well, one of AAMI's greatest strengths is being that neutral convener, bringing in people from Japan or elsewhere who has the right ideas to strengthen then our standards and things of that nature.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we've also done some education sessions for them, and they actually participate in our exchange. They donate to the exchange. They donate to the foundation, to AAMI Foundation. They're a big contributor to scholarships and education. They're really into that, as you probably would expect.
Yeah.
And they support us like you can't believe in lots of different areas.
So I also see, you have a great deal of notes from your Congress, and I'm curious if there's any big takeaways that you wanted to highlight.
It's funny. The big takeaway that I have is that they are so excited about working with AAMI, and the fact that we sent a representative to their 100th Congress and that we're interested in continuing this partnership was so exciting for them, as well as me.
Yeah.
The fact that I have to say that's a big takeaway, that this is something that's going to keep going in the future. And again, they have 7 people here this year, not all from JSMI, some from a clinical engineering society in Japan.
Oh, great.
They would have more, but their Congress just ended and we just started, and we do have a couple of situations where we have some conflicts between the timing of the AAMI Exchange and the JSMI Congress. Mm-hmm. And luckily, AAMI's Exchange moves around a little in time, and that's going to make it easier. But they were almost apologetic about not being able to be here this year because they wanted to participate, and they wanted to be here with stronger numbers.
Sure.
And they had, as you mentioned before, the Japanese Tea Party. They're excited about that and having the AAMI staff and board, participate in
It's
the
a
Tea
beautiful
Party.
exchange of culture. I love seeing
it
that.
really is.
Yeah.
It really is. They love to play games. Almost every time they have a game of some sort, and no, it's interesting. And I found out something too. In going through their exhibit hall, most of what they're doing is sterilization based.
Interesting.
Which even though it's medical instrumentation, every booth was a sterilization, washers, sterilizers, things like that. Similar to what you see here.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but that was a big part of it, and so obviously our sterilization standards are important to them.
Well, you know what I've seen often is that as our data and our technology improves, but the technology also changes so often, things like materials compatibility, whether or not the device that I'm developing on the medtech side is compatible with the ways that they're sterilizing those devices or cleaning those devices. So I can see why, even if they started with an HCM focus, we think about sterilization.
And that's what's the beauty of some of the international standards, so that if you comply, you're able to have that consistency that you talk about.
Right, yeah, you're good to go in no matter what country, Japan, the US, etc.
Right, if you want to sell your products.
That's great.
Yeah.
Steve, is there anything else that you wanted to share with me about JSMI?
Not really. I think just the main thing is what I mentioned, just the takeaway, the wonderful partnership, and what a great partner we have in JSMI, and how forthcoming they are, and just excited about working with us.
Absolutely. Well, I'll put a link in the description for our viewers who want to learn a little bit more about JSMI. We'll link back to their site, and you can learn all you can, especially if you're from Japan yourself and you want a way to get involved. So, Steve, thank you again for joining me today to tell us about this Congress.
It's always great to talk to you. Each year I look forward to seeing you. So
I love it too. I appreciate you.